This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, council. I'd like to call to order this special meeting of the Haslet City Council, Friday, December 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. There is a quorum of 4 present. If you'll bow your heads with me, I'll offer an invocation and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Father in heaven, we thank you for this wonderful time of the year, you sending your Son to us for your glory. We ask that you give us guidance and wisdom as we address these very important items tonight. We lift up the city of Haslet, our great state of Texas, and the United States of America. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 says participation and comments. Do we have any comments?
We do. Mayor, let me just say real quick, on the page 2 of our agenda, there was a typo. It said the agenda was posted September the 15th, and it was in fact posted December the 15th, just to let you know. And yes, sir, we do have 2 speakers for citizens.
All right, if we could, who is our first speaker? Do we like to address the council now or add an agenda item?
These 2 would like to address the council now, please.
All right, please.
So the first is Mr. Lang, Joe Lang.
Mr. Lang, if you would go to the podium. Is his mic on at the podium? Very good. State your name and your address.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name's Joe Lang. Address 2002 White Lane, W-H-I-T-E. Been a citizen of this fine city since 1983. Actually, my unit was incorporated, annexed, I cannot recall the year, but there was an ordinance I read today that said it happened in 2018, but I don't think that's correct. It seems more like the year 2000 or 98. I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about Hugh White being annexed?
Yes.
Yeah, it was way before 2018.
Way before.
But please go ahead with your comment.
Yeah. So what I want to speak of, there's an address 2007 White Lane. Had an existing house, a good one, and now it has another one built directly in front of it. Nice house. Our zoning is for single-family residence, and now we have someone living in the new house and someone living in the house that is behind that. Most people that have bought an existing place out there will tear down all the structure, substructure, and build another new residence if they want to, instead of having 2 residences. And I don't know if the city is aware of this, so I don't even know how you would even tax that situation. I don't know. Now, my concern is, for this to happen, what's going to keep someone else from doing the same thing or adding to their existing house, just build another one? There's plenty of room. I could do it. That's my comment. And I would rather not for that to happen, because no telling what would happen with the whole United States area. No telling. So that's my concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lang. Our next speaker,
Sandra G. Smith.
Ms. Smith.
Sandra Smith, 300 Gamble Street. I listened to the meeting Monday night, and whenever I listen to council meetings and I pay very close attention, I get very troubled. And I go back to ordinance number 21-2013, which is the Code of Ethics and Conduct for elected and appointed officials. And I just felt compelled to come down here and just read you guys a couple of excerpts that really speak out to me before we move forward tonight. One of them is, the public should have confidence in the integrity of its government. The next one is, elected and appointed officials of the city are positions of public trust imposing the duty of a fiduciary, which is a legal term. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but if you guys haven't familiarized yourself with that, you probably need to. That's my second point. My third point is, relatives of elected or appointed officials may serve on a board or commission of the city, provided, however, the related elected official or appointed official shall recuse themselves and abstain from the nomination, discussion, and vote relating to the appointment of that relative. Now, having watched meetings in the past, I haven't seen that happen. You know, we got a couple of council members that have relatives on boards. But maybe those folks need to read this and read it a little bit closer. They're supposed to recuse, not participate in discussion, or of any of the appointment of those relatives. Then the next point is, no elected or appointed official shall participate in or vote on any land use matter in which such officer has a substantial interest in any real property within 200 feet of the real property. So if you're voting on things or participating in discussions and you have real property that either adjoins it or is within 200 feet, again, you're a fiduciary. The last point is in Exhibit A in the back, and it defines what that substantial interest is. It says a person has a substantial interest in real property if the interest is an equitable or legal ownership with a fair market value of $2,500 or more. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I know for a fact that some of you, at least one of you, maybe a couple of you, should pay attention to your legal responsibilities to comply with state and local government code, which I'm not a lawyer. But you're a fiduciary and you're spending my tax dollars. And I've paid property taxes on that house 2 blocks from here for over 40 years. That's my home. So you have a responsibility to me, more so than you do to whispering to each other or plotting and scheming how you're gonna, get up on one or another. And you should have more respect for each other than you do. That's how I feel about it. And I get sad and troubled when I watch y'all's meetings. So that's all I have to say about it.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Do we have any other speakers?
Sir.
Do we have any speakers online requesting to speak?
No, sir.
Very good. Shall we move on? Do you have letters that have been requested?
Yes, sir, we do have emails that have been requested related to item 4E and 4F.
Will they be addressed at that time?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. Let's move on to item number 4, public hearings, ordinances, resolutions, and action items. 4A, discuss and consider and act to approve Resolution XXX-2025 for a project of the Haslet Community and Economic Development Corporation, HCEDC, for the installation of a parking lot at Nance Field. So the HCEDC has adopted a project to provide paving at the for the parking lot at Nance Field, and have authorized up to $200,000. And they are requesting council that you approve their project and authorize them to amend their budget.
Yes, Mayor Hulsey. Mayor.
Please, go ahead.
This was one of the items I had asked for the December 15th meeting. I listened to the HCEDC meeting as well as the Haslet Parks meeting, and that's why I asked for it to come. I did have a question. Was that $200,000, are they looking at concrete or asphalt, or are they going to get bids on both?
Their resolution, I believe, states concrete.
Okay, and then if they, I know Mr. Swanky gave a presentation about the cost of concrete and how exponential it might be, and so they were considering asphalt. So if we approve this resolution and it says concrete, can it be changed to asphalt at a later date as a resolution, or should the resolution just say paving?
Well, you don't have the authority to change their resolution.
Okay, we can't ask them to amend their resolution?
Yes, and as I understand, they intended, in fact, it was on their most recent agenda, was it Wednesday evening, that they would revisit these resolutions, this being one of them, and they took no action to amend that resolution. So I would say that the resolution they are submitting stands as is.
Okay, and then the other option would be as a council to,
The council could ask HCEDC to revise their resolution because it is very specific in the material.
right. Okay, I just wanted to see what steps were moving forward with the concrete, if it was a cost of too much and asphalt needed to be the case. Also, could the city council, since this was one of our items that we approved at our budget workshop on August 2nd, that we take it back completely and move forward ourselves as a council?
That is absolutely an option, is just to decline this resolution. It is a budgeted item. The budgeted item is for asphalt.
Right.
And that I have been informed by engineering, if it were to go with concrete, there is much more work to be done to pave with concrete, and it would be over $500,000.
And one of the other things they said was that the asphalt, if it was to be torn up, could be reused, and so that
Right.
material would not go to waste.
Both engineering and public works recommended asphalt.
At that EDC meeting, or that the,
As a result of it making on our budget.
I saw where Mr. Swanky recommended it, okay.
Yeah.
Mayor Hulsey,
Yes.
in hearing what you all are saying about the motion, would we be able to make a motion tonight directing the HCEDC board to bring us a new resolution with the verbiage of concrete changed to asphalt by the next council meeting?
You cannot direct them. You can suggest, you can request, you cannot direct them.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
last week I had a meeting with Mr. Belcheff and another one of his employees, and we were working on the park master plan. And
The park master plan is not, okay, go ahead.
Can I finish my sentence? So I was having a meeting with them about that, and I brought up this project, and he was saying that we can't really give out budgeted numbers until we have a design, until we have exact, square footage numbers. And they were telling me that asphalt or concrete is not much more expensive than having asphalt. And he said, once we get a design, there's a design done, we have exact numbers, then we can budget y'all, or give y'all a budgeted numbers how much both would cost. And so I think, you know what, concrete would last longer. I know Mr. Swanky said throughout at 750,000, but without knowing square footages or anything like that, that's a very high number to throw out when you don't have any kind of numbers to even back that up. So I'm for having concrete. I know it might be a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely going to last longer. And I know you can't reuse it like you can with asphalt, but in my opinion, I think that 200,000 might be, it's too cheap for concrete, but I think it's a better option than doing asphalt and having to maybe come back and redo it later on, because concrete is definitely going to last longer. So if it costs more up front, I'd rather be here for another 15, 20 years versus asphalt.
You might consider this is that where you're having a master plan performed for Nance Field, and it would most likely affect that parking lot area.
Well,
And if you lay concrete, that will just be torn out and thrown away.
you can't make that parking lot any bigger than what it is, even if we do a master plan, because if you go farther east, there's that tower there with the utilities right there. We can't take that out, and you're going up a steeper slope to go up to the playground. And if you make it bigger, you're going to have to take out the bathrooms, the concession stand in there. So the parking lot is landlocked where it's at. So that's the reason why I'm also for going with concrete, because the parking lot is landlocked in that one spot.
Understood.
So,
Excuse me, can y'all hear me?
oh,
Hello.
Councilman Hort.
Yes. So, okay, what I'm looking at here is they're not specifying in this resolution either material. They're specifying they want to contribute $200,000 to a parking lot at Nance Field. So the way I see it is, okay, we could take the resolution, and that gets this moving to $200,000 moving forward on there for this item. And then where we go is from Public Works and Engineering, then the council, we get the estimates, designs from Public Works Engineering on, projects for concrete and asphalt, and compare those then. And then we can decide from the council which way it's best to go. But looking just this resolution, and somebody correct me if I'm not reading this correctly, but
want me to
this
correct you,
is
Mr.
simply stating
Horak?
$200,000 for a parking lot.
Doug, I think it's on number 2. It says the project installation of a concrete parking lot at Nance Field. Number 2 of the resolution.
Okay, let me go down and find that.
Yeah. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Haslet Community and Economic Development Corporation, number 1, number 2, 3, 4. The
Okay,
second one
that's on
says
down.
installation
Okay.
of a concrete, not asphalt.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's
There,
where we're
that's-
looking.
Yeah, I was up on number 2 on the first section.
I think I'd like to send the resolution back to them and just have them and recommend that they remove the material so that they can get those quotes and see what is cost effective.
Very good. Would you like to make a motion, please?
Okay. I would like to make a motion to recommend to HCEDC that they amend their resolution to state paving and not specify concrete or asphalt.
Motion is made to make recommendation to the HCEDC to amend their resolution and to take the material out and just state paving.
Correct.
Is there a second?
I second that.
There is a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Motion passes. 4B, discuss, consider, and act on city council support for an HCEDC project to replace the community park playground and to appoint a committee of park board members consisting of Sarah Nembu and Cindy Laird to coordinate this project. So there's really, probably should have been 2 agenda items here. Let's take the first part of this, the community playground. I hope we're not talking about the entire park.
So
but
Mayor Halsey,
This
Is
is
playground equipment, playground what?
playground equipment.
this item was also one of the ones that was supposed to be on December 15th meeting, and it, in my opinion, it was already discussed and moved forward at the December 15th meeting, so I don't see a need to even have any action on this since it was taken care of on December 15th. That's just my opinion.
You had requested this item.
Right, because it was supposed to be on the December 15th meeting. And then on the December 15th meeting, let me find it, there was discussion on 8B for this exact item. And I mentioned the subcommittee, so I feel that it doesn't need to be brought up again.
Okay. I do want to make a point about the subcommittee, is if you will, you've got 2 handouts. The first one has to do with park policies. So this would be for your future consideration, is park board, they appoint their own subcommittees.
They
There-
did at their meeting. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Pardon?
They did that at their meeting. But I
Excuse
listened.
me, is that the point I'm making?
Okay.
The city council has no play in appointing subcommittees.
Correct. I agree. So I listened to the Parks Board meeting, and they appointed
Their subcommittee?
their subcommittee, and I believe with a member of HCEDC, and I was just bringing that information to the council. I was not appointing anybody.
All right, then.
They did that themselves. On item 10, yes, they talked about it, and I was just relaying that information.
All right, so there's no action on item 4B.
So does that make sense, though, that I'm not making the subcommittee? The Parks Board appointed that at their meeting?
Say it again?
Does that make sense, that I'm not appointing anybody personally?
Correct.
Okay.
Or this council is not appointing a subcommittee.
Right, yes, I wasn't asking for an agenda item to appoint anybody.
Mayor and council, I would also just advise that it is not within the purview of the council for this agenda item to appoint a committee of park board members. That is within the purview of the Parks Board.
Very good, thank you. All right, there will be no action on 4B. 4C, discuss, consider, and act on a request from the Park Board to add discuss, consider, and act to the park agenda items and to include all parks in that section. This is I don't know that I quite understand what they're asking here or what is being asked here. The second part of this handout, if you'll go to it, is a typical park board agenda. And in there, in the makeup of this, you'll see item 8 in here is action items. That's to discuss, consider, and act on any item that they see that needs to be discussed, considered, and act. But also then they have updates. They have discuss only regarding updates at city parks, and they have parks listed. And to list an item for discuss, consider, and act is that there is requirement that it be identified what is to be discussed, consider, and act in enough detail to inform the public what is to happen. So does anybody have any, who requested this item?
So this was the other item that I had requested for the
So
December
what
15th
is
meeting. And
being
yes,
asked?
So I did receive an email from, so I listened, once again, the Parks Board meeting asked these 3 items to be sent to City Council for approval, which is why I added them. And then, when it wasn't on the December 15th meeting, I asked for them to be put on this meeting. So Mr. Page let me know that my request was extremely vague, which it did sound, I have to go back and reading it, when I said all parks. And I wanted to clarify, I just meant that only 3 parks, let me look back at the agenda item that I looked at. Yeah, Gamble Park, Community Park, and Veterans Memorial Garden are the only 3 parks listed, and I was interpreting their request as all 5 parks being listed. So that was what my intention was. I do understand, after talking with Mr. Page, you cannot have just a placeholder written down, discuss, consider, and act on ABC without having those actual items. And so that is not what the intention of this request is. Discussion regarding park and facility improvements, and then listing all 5 parks, meaning all parks, would enable them to discuss what needs to be done or possible future actionable agenda items to be placed at on their next meeting. So that was my intent.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't take council action for that to happen.
They've been asking for it for years. So I was just following, like I said, their request from their meeting.
They have not contacted the mayor.
Okay, so discussion regarding park and facility improvements, and then listing.
We'll add, I
All
assume what
5.
they're adding is Nance Field and Firehouse Fields.
Correct. So they have all 5 to discuss regarding park and facility improvements.
Easily done.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
great.
Yes.
Thank you.
when I read this, I didn't know what Tanya's interpretation was. And I was curious about, did this have something to do with when the park board president came and asked to have authority, and I don't even know what the situation is, but have authority given to them again, I guess, restored to them? Because it seemed like for some reason they felt like they didn't have authority to take action on the things under their purview, so to speak. And that's where I was curious. I didn't know if that's what this was
With regard
supposed
to
to be
that,
about.
it had, as I explained, both of those parks are under contract with the Haslet Sports Association. What the president was asking for is having authority with regard to that as well. And I said, that's just not possible. The contract is with the city of Haslet, not the city of Haslet Park Board. So to have discussion on those items and give information to the council is great. That's fine. Again, I'll go back, is HCED or the park board does not administer that contract with HCED or Haslet Sports Association.
They're an advisory committee, so they're just going to
But
give
they can
us.
advise on the parks.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thank you.
Very good. So I'll take it there's no action item on 4C.
I'd like to make a motion to add Nance Field and Firehouse Fields to the Parks Board discussion regarding park and facility improvements.
Very good. Motion is made to add Nance Field and Firefields to the, I'll just say item 10, discussion regarding updates at city parks to the Park Board agenda. Is there a second?
Mayor Halsey, I'll second.
There is a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Excuse me, Mr. Hort, what is your vote? Please turn on your microphone.
Yeah, it's on. Aye.
Thank you. It's unanimous, 5-0. Motion passes. 4D, discuss, consider, act on directing city staff to review the city code of ordinances to, 1, ensure the online code library includes all recently adopted ordinances for public review, And 2, proposed ordinance updates at a later date to reflect changes in local practice and relevant state law. And if your agenda item report, it describes number 1, that is done. That's done quarterly, and that's how often it is done. That's by contract. And other cities as well that utilize their services. Most all cities do. With regard to item 2, the proposed ordinance updates at a later date to reflect changes in local practice and relevant state law. We do have an ongoing list that we will forward to you probably Monday. Probably has maybe, I'm going to estimate maybe 20 ordinances that are queued up and in various states to be amended and on future agenda items. Some of them got to go to the planning and zoning first and then come to city council. But there has been a list and staff is constantly working on those. That would be, so as far as an action item, all of this work is currently in process.
Okay.
Is there any questions on that? All right, then I will assume there would be no action on 4D. All right, then. Let's go to 4E. Discuss, consider, and act on a Resolution XXX-2025 of censure of the mayor for not including council requests on agenda items. Councilman Carruthers, you authored that censure, so I'll let you have the floor.
Yes, sir. I brought this because we had to have an extra council meeting back in September because we had items that were not included on the regular agenda for the city council meeting. And then this last council meeting, December 15th, there were more items again that were not included. And so we hoped after the September meeting that we would be able to work a little better together, but that did not happen this last council meeting. And so just in accordance with the city code of ethics and conduct, I decided to write this censure up so that we could hopefully, going forward, have all of our agenda items as requested, either communicated about or to have them included on future city council agendas.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. With regard to your agenda items request, ordinance does allow a council person to request at least one agenda item, and if there is time available in the available for that agenda, then more can be added. Is that when these are requested, now that ordinance doesn't say, now I know there you request a specific meeting. The ordinance doesn't stipulate that, but we try to allow for that and meet that. I think one of the things is the council does not realize the amount of work that staff go through and consultants go through to generate the documents that you see in front of you. There is a tremendous amount of work. Multiple individuals are involved. And when you don't see it on the date that you request, doesn't mean it's not going to be on the future. But I would ask also, when you request an agenda item, give the mayor a call. As far as communication, that would go a long way.
So an email and a phone call, because I asked at the previous meeting if I needed to do something in addition to get my items on, and you didn't, but you're saying that now if I place an agenda item in an email, a phone call is also necessary to follow the ordinance?
A phone call is most preferred.
Why do we need to call you when we're placing?
Because I request it. Are you demanding not to call?
I just said, why do we need to call you when we're wanting to request an item to be on the agenda?
Because so I can talk to you about it.
The ordinance says preferably by email, at least 10 days prior to the date of the meeting.
I didn't write that ordinance.
I
I'm asking.
I didn't either. I just am reading what the
The mayor
ordinance says.
is responsible for putting this agenda out and coordinating the staff and the timing and the effort that is required. So it's a simple request.
Right, okay. And you mentioned the
It's
date.
a simple request.
It says the notification should include the date of the city council meeting at which the member desires the item to be listed on the agenda.
Desires.
Right. and
Note the
then-
word desire.
And then Part A says they're entitled, what I'm reading is City Council Procedure, Section 1.03.001. It says a member of the city council is entitled to have a minimum of one item listed on the agenda for each meeting of the city council. So to me, that's not only if this date allows. And then it goes on to say, like you said, based on the length of the agenda, additional items could be allowed at the discretion of the mayor.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
I think we have some letters that need to be read
Yeah,
first.
we have several emails
Oh.
on this subject.
Oh, okay. Please.
In no particular order, the first one is from Casey Lloyd, 1507 Yucca Court. I, as a citizen of Haslet, wish to express my strong opposition of 4E. Many people of Haslet are actually happy with what the mayor has done and listening to the concerns of the citizens. The previous mayor did not listen to us at all. Also, many people of Haslet support the expansion and upgrades of our roads, but we do not want a freeway running through our town. Next one is Joel Bullard, 108 Hurley Street. I strongly oppose agenda item 4E. The mayor was voted into his position by us, the citizens of Haslet, just because the current council continues to embarrass themselves by acting like elementary kids and cannot get along with the mayor, does not warrant censuring of the mayor. How about all of you try working together for the citizens? You will get more done. Patricia Parker, 219 Broadmoor Drive. Regarding agenda item 4E, the censuring of the mayor, I am opposed to this agenda item. I have observed repeatedly hostility and unprofessional attacks toward the mayor during council meetings, specifically Mr. Watkins' rude comments toward the mayor and the dismissive demeanor, such as engaging in side conversations with Zach Gilbert while citizens are speaking. He has never been reprimanded for his behavior, and this is unacceptable. Rather than censuring the mayor, I believe the focus should be on the conduct of council members who have become an embarrassment to our city. It is the council's behavior that warrants reprimand, not the mayor's. Next one is Marilyn Broyles of 1406 Nettle Lane. I would like to address comments made at the council meeting on December 15th, 2025. During that meeting, Council Carruthers stated that the mayor failed to inform the council of BNSF's rejection of the Avondale-Haslet Bridge design. This statement is inaccurate. At the November 10th meeting, Mayor Hulsey informed the entire council of this fact. Additionally, Member Carruthers publicly referenced Ms. Joette Keene, a citizen of Haslet, suggesting that she had access to information not shared with the council, and this is untrue and highly inappropriate. It is possible that some members did not hear this important information because Mayor Hulsey was repeatedly interrupted during the meeting, particularly by Member Watkins. Unfortunately, much of the council's time during open meeting has been spent attacking the mayor rather than conducting respectful, productive business. I emailed all council members to correct this misinformation and formally requested a public apology. Publicly discrediting a Haslet citizen based on incorrect information is unacceptable. Regarding item 4E, I strongly oppose the censure of the mayor. This council has demonstrated hostility toward the mayor while failing to hold its own members to the same standards. Notably, the council has refused to censure James Watkins for outrageous and vulgar comments directed at Mayor Hulsey. If the mayor is to be censured, then all members must be accountable and adhere equally to the city Code of Ethics and Conduct. As many of you know, I previously served on this council alongside Member Horak and Member Morrow. While we did not always agree, our meetings were conducted with mutual respect. The citizens of Haslet deserve no less from their elected officials. I also oppose item 4F, which proposes a one-time salary increase of 30% for the fire department and 14% for city staff above current rates. While I fully support ensuring employees are paid competitively and respect the council's intent, these increases are excessive and would place a significant strain on the city's finances. A phased approach over several years would be more responsible and sustainable. In closing, I believe that calling a special meeting on Friday night before Christmas demonstrates a lack of consideration for both citizens and employees. This is a time when families are focused on children, preparing for guests, and traveling. My hope and prayer is that this governing body reflects God's gift of love and forgiveness during this Christmas season. Thank you for your time, and I wish you Merry Christmas. Stephanie, I live at 1406 Poppy Drive. I am writing to voice my strong opposition of 4E, censuring of the mayor. We strongly oppose this agenda item. The mayor has been an advocate for the city for years, and you don't have to agree with everything that's done. He has worked so many thankless hours and dedicated time to make our city the best he can. So how do you in good faith bring this up tonight? Let me be clear again, we strongly oppose this. The fact that 5 of you can sit there and know you have blatantly or passively harassed, unfairly attacked, and flat out disrespected our mayor so many times we can't count them, all 5 of you should be held accountable. I also strongly believe you need to take immediate action to the profanity and vulgarity that Mr. Watkins portrayed every meeting toward the mayor and the citizens that speak out. Proper body language, professional ethics, and integrity are expected from elected officials. Mr. Watkins hasn't shown any of that and should be held accountable immediately, so all of you need to be held to the same standards that citizens expect, because the complacency in bringing his behavior up for discussion and doing so, and doing something about it makes all of this council a problem. Would you be okay with Mr. Watkins treating or speaking to your family or citizens the way he has treated and spoken to the mayor and do nothing? The citizens of Haslet are watching closely and they expect you to take action against Mr. Watkins and not the mayor. Let's also realize that it's time to stop wasting so much time against one person and actually work on our city. This has been such a waste of time for months, seeing the 5 of you work together, which is actually against the law, to just go against someone you don't agree with. It's easy to see whether you want to admit it or deny it. To this example, it's the last Friday before Christmas. Is this how the 5 of you see fit to spend your time, the city employees, and the mayor's time? How sad that you would drag up a special meeting, especially about this during a holiday weekend before Christmas. You have family, and time is something you will never get back. Take a look around at what you vindictively decided to do just out of sheer spite and waste your own precious time, and no one knows if they will have more of from year to year. Also, it's very clear the 5 of you are so busy creating hatred, you fail to see that you missed an important item at the November meeting where you were told that the small bridge design didn't pass. So I do believe a public apology from Mr. Carruthers is warranted to Ms. Keene, your fellow citizen and neighbor, when you accused her of knowing information before you all did. We're still on 4E. Joette Keene, 1410 Poppy Drive. As you know, I have spoken on at least 3 occasions requesting the council to formally censure Mr. Watkins for his conduct, unprofessionalism, and vulgar language, yet this council has either excused or ignored his actions. It is highly questionable, therefore, why you have made a special effort to take action toward the mayor while turning a blind eye on Mr. Watkins. With the way you all have shown concerted effort to undermine any positive efforts Mayor Hulsey has made, I guess we citizens should not be surprised with this next step you are taking towards him, yet ignore one of your own. I am definitely opposed to item 4E on tonight's agenda due to council's inconsistency in addressing other offensive behaviors and recognizing this as an obvious effort to further negativity towards the mayor. We citizens are not naive. There is a method to your efforts which is not altruistic, despite how you all may try to spin this. Secondly, while I applaud taking care of employees, your action to propose the salary increase as outlined in 4F without a formal evaluation is premature. Why rush something that may be excessive and unwarranted? Yet another example of this council's steamroll actions. Do you learn lessons? Consider your recent misunderstandings that had to be addressed. The benefits topic, the bridge topic, to just name those two in the last 2 months. You are not acting responsibly with taxpayer money without having fully understanding if these increases actually provide parity as claimed. And finally, the other topics on this agenda could have easily waited until the next regular council meeting rather than put a burden on city employees or schedule a meeting when citizens are busy with holiday activities and do not have the capacity to participate. Again, you just steamroll your agenda in any way you can, and the council should take an honest look at motivation and actually give working with the mayor a chance. The next one is only for 4F, so I'll save that one.
Well, thank you. And no other comments?
So point of order, is there ability for the audience to speak on this topic?
Yes, and I'll ask you to speak for
You want my speaker card first or after I'm done? Perfect. Sounds good. So I'm Jason Jacobs. I live at 2149 Clover Fern Way here in Haslet. That was well placed, all those letters, Mayor Hulsey. You seem like you have a lot of support. I just want to reiterate that the rest of this city council has support as well. There are people who have voted for them. There are people that have watched, as I believe that you have demeaned, spoke over, insulted, and wield power that I don't think is even yours to wield in this room and in other places. I would like to assert the rest of the city council continue the job you're doing. There are people in the city of Haslet that appreciate you. There's a multitude of voices that need to be heard, not one. And I appreciate you. Continue to do a good job. We will continue to vote and stand behind you and support you. Continue to fight for those that have maybe not been here 50 years, but have made a significant investment in this neighborhood and want to see it grow and are raising children here and want to be a part of this community, regardless of how the old guard feels or what they feel the city's going towards. Continue to fight for things that make sense. Continue to ask the questions that need to be asked. Continue to check and balance power when it needs to be checked and balanced. Continue to bring important motions to the floor, and we'll continue to support you. So thank you as a citizen of Haslet. I appreciate you, and thank you for being servants of our community. If you have that card, I'll fill it out for you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers? Is there anybody online?
No, sir.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
Now, before we get to the motion, Mayor, I'd like to comment on this because earlier, we've had some, good discussions on both sides, letters written in, and that's what we always want to hear is, public feedback on this. But, to your comment about you always want a phone call, part of this when we suggest agenda items, the reason we email it is so we have a paper trail. So there's accountability to what was sent in, what was recommended at a specific time. The problem with phone calls is there's no documentation. And so it's very easily for people to forget what was spoken at those. That's why it's first and foremost, in my opinion, and I'd like to ask Jeremy Page's opinion, or, our attorney, is it preferential to have something in writing, such as an email, recommending these items, or a phone call that's not documented? And I think, with the course of actions that we've had, we obviously need documentation so we can see, what was said, what was asked for at specific times in the past. That way there's no ambiguity as, he said, she said, or he said, she said, he said, whatever. I think emails are first and foremost, or call it out at, like we do at the end of each council meeting where we ask for future agenda items, so it's spoken on the record. There again, so there's accountability, and it's documented that items were asked for.
Very good. And I'm not suggesting no email, and that's a good idea. But a call to discuss would be appreciated. There's a lot of that can be accomplished with a phone call where we can discuss. But I have not seen any willingness for that to happen. But nonetheless, and your point's taken well, Councilman Hort.
Thank you.
Mayor Halsey.
Yes, please.
I had a question. Can this resolution be amended by the council in our motion, or is it have to be approved or denied the way it is presented to us?
You could include in your motion to adopt the resolution with specific amendments.
Thank you. The reason I was asking is because I know where it says, whereas on or about December 9th, Gary Hulsey improperly did not include an agenda item or agenda request, and it has Councilman Watkins and myself listed. I want to make sure that all the dates of the items are added, because I asked for an agenda item on March 3rd, and it was not placed on the March 17th meeting or the April 7th meeting. And I asked for an agenda item on 8:30, and it was not placed on the 9:15, which did call for the special meeting on 9:22. And then I asked for an agenda item on 10:25, and it was not placed, excuse me, on the 11:10 meeting. And then this one that was, I emailed on December 9th, that was not placed on the, actually I emailed on 11:29, and it was not placed on the 12:15. So if we move forward, to me, it's not anything personal, it's just a violation of our local government code, which, and I'm going to read it because I don't want to mess it up. 22042A, which says, "The mayor shall at all times actively ensure the laws and ordinances of the municipality are properly carried out." And then this is an ordinance, as you said, Mayor Hulsey, you didn't write, and I didn't write it either. It was adopted 1/6/2014. So if things need to be changed to this ordinance so that different procedures are required or encouraged, or I did think about the date, because it does say 10 days, but with the new state law coming in saying that the meetings have to be posted earlier, that might need to be changed. So that is my concern. It's not anything about, I know a lot of those letters were talking about behavior and actions, and mine is just following the letter of the law, which is making sure the local government code is followed.
So, and your motion is to revise this resolution with
Okay.
specific dates?
Yes, with additional dates.
With additional dates.
So I'd like to make a motion.
All right.
If you would, for clarity, you would need to specify in your motion what specific amendments you want included into which paragraph.
Okay, so when I look at the resolution in front of me, would I say paragraph 4 and add the dates to paragraph 4?
Which
Yes.
dates?
Okay, so I would like to go ahead and do I go ahead and make the motion? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to act on the resolution with the amendment of additional dates on the 4th paragraph. Those dates are 8/30, excuse me, I'm going to start at the beginning. 3/3/2025, 8/30/2025.
Slow, a little bit slower, please. 3/3/2025,
Yes, sir.
and the first one was 8/30/2025?
That's the second one, yes. And then 10/25/25. And then 11/29/25. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 additional to the one that was there.
So I got 4. I got 3/13, 8/30.
3/3.
Okay, the first one was 3/3 or 3/30?
3/3.
3/30. I have
No,
8/30.
3/3. March the 3rd.
March 3rd.
Okay,
Okay, 3/3/2025.
correct.
I got 8/30/2025. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I have 10/22/2025.
It's 10/25. October 25th of 2025.
25th. And I have 11/20. 29. So there's 4 of them.
Yes, but the 11/29 is what the current resolution says for December 9th. It says on or about, so that one is correct.
So So there will be 5 total dates here.
4.
4
No,
total.
4
So
total.
December 9th gets scrubbed?
Since it says on or about, I'm okay with that verbiage. Since it was 11/29, that is on or about December 9th, so I feel that's represented appropriately.
So there'll be 5 dates in this.
4.
Which, okay, I've got 5 dates, one that's existing in this resolution, December the 9th, and then you've added 4, so which one goes away?
11/29.
All right. Very good. And you want to finish your motion? So you made a motion to approve the resolution censuring the mayor and adding
With-
dates to paragraph 4.
Correct, with amending, yes, paragraph 4. That's it?
All right, then. A motion is made to approve the resolution censoring the mayor, making amendment to paragraph 4, adding the dates of 3/3/2025, 8/30/2025, and 10/25/25. Is there a second?
Mayor Hulsey, I'll second.
There is a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Hort? It's unanimous, 5-0. Well, thank you, council. I'll wear this as a badge of honor. If you will all stop by the city secretary and sign this, I'll hang it on my wall. 4F. Discuss, consider, and act on approving a one-time raise in salary effective immediately for the entire fire department on every position and rank of 30% above the current rates. Also, approving a one-time raise in salary effective immediately for all City of Haslet administrative, courthouse, public works, and library employees of 14% above the current rates. The finance director has labored over this for quite some time. And what is being requested is, in the finance director's opinion, as well as the mayor and who is the budget officer, is not being responsible at all. It will drive, as you can see in the data presented, it will drive our reserve fund to 0 in 29, the first quarter. So the data that's presented is quite descriptive. Do you have any questions?
Mayor Halsey? I had one question.
Yes.
Did the 25%, I believe it did, but I just want to make sure, did the 25% on the healthcare premium increases be taken out of general fund?
Yes.
Okay, and that was the amount of $123,642. That sound correct?
$155,000 was the 25% increase.
Okay, I was looking
In
back.
addition to the 5% that was already in the budget when that was approved.
Okay.
That was solely for the 25% increase
Okay.
for health insurance premium increase.
Okay.
Mayor Hulsey,
Yes.
before this proposal, your request for the staff, was it a salary increase of how much?
6%
6% across the board?
across the board, subject to supervisor performance evaluations.
Of course. So this proposal would be in addition to the 6%?
On top of it, yes.
Okay.
Mayor Hulsey?
Yes.
A question for you. In Exhibit A, Part 2, actually, excuse me. Why are you guys including a raise for the water and sewer fund? This should be only for salaries, administrative staff and such. Why are we increasing the amount of a fund, which is an additional $100,000 almost?
I am flipping to that. Part A, Exhibit A, Part 2, is that all of our salaries and wages, if they work in the water and sewer department, those salaries and wages are shared 50-50 with that department. It's always, that's a shared cost.
Okay, so it's a shared cost. Is it both coming out of the general fund, though?
As this was written, it is all coming out. None of it's being applied to the water and sewer fund.
Right.
It's all to the general fund.
Okay, so, but you're saying that from, the water and sewer generates its own revenue with the bills that the residents pay for their service.
Correct.
So that's an additional stream of revenue that contributes to the salaries and such of our citizens. But it seems a little misconstrued on this chart where you're including a separate fund and a charge for that into this fund, including in this, where you said it's a split revenue. So the general fund and the water sewer fund covers the cost for the public works employees, right? And when I say general fund, I'm meaning right here what's listed and right above the water and sewer fund, the general fund, administrative, city secretary, fire, so on and so forth, which is their salaries and such. So when it comes to the public works shared expense of the $252,000, I'm seeing below that it seems like the public works department is, the sewer and water is carrying the brunt of their expenses. So if sewer and water is carrying a brunt of their expenses, why are that extra $100,000 getting put into the fund and increasing and elevating these funds?
Extra $100,000 put into what fund?
The water and sewer fund. Or where's the revenue accounted for that will counteract these funds that are negating, increasing this up to a $717,000 increase from what this chart says. There are additional funds from the water and sewer department that get incorporated into this, correct?
There are no additional, I'm not quite understanding what additional funds you're talking about. You want to give a raise.
No, sir, you said
there's no additional funds generated from that.
You said there's a split cost between.
That's how it's normally done in the budgeting process. What has been done here is not a normal procedure.
Right, so it's not.
What you have requested is a 30% increase for fire department and 14% increase to all other departments. And that is levied against the general fund. The total is levied against the general fund. In normal practice, it would be taken between, it would be applied to a cost to the water and sewer fund, and the remainder, bulk of it, out of the general fund. But it's not so what do you intend, or what do you ask?
Where does the shared cost revenue that's shared with the water sewer fund get incorporated into the general fund? So you're saying that there's a shared cost between the public works department and the water and sewer department, right? So the public works within the city.
Water and sewer fund is an enterprise fund.
Correct.
It is separate. It does not contribute to the general fund.
It doesn't contribute. So then how does the shared cost work?
Is those employees that work for water and sewer, they're not there full time. All employees there is a given amount, if not 100%, provided their wage and salary by the general fund. Those employees that work in water and sewer or for water and sewer, their salaries or wages are split 50-50 between the general fund and the water and sewer fund.
Okay, so then there's two sources of revenue then.
It's not a source of revenues. Well, there is in that the water and sewer is a enterprise fund, stands alone.
Yes, sir, which generates revenue. So my
Yes.
question is, now of the money that's generated from the citizen payments, how much of that generated money goes to the salary payments of the employees?
That's not, well, we can look at administration. That would be those numbers there. No, they are not total. We weren't prepared to answer that specific question.
Well, that's a source of revenue, sir. That's very valuable considering that you're saying that the city's going to go broke in 3 years, but you're not incorporating all of the
saying,
revenue.
what has been
Sir, can I finish,
applied-
please? What I'm saying is you're not allowing us to account for all the revenue streams that the city will accounting. This is a very ERP accounting way of doing math. There's real math and then there's ERP accounting math. This is ERP accounting math. And it's you can make this math look any way you want. So it's the beauty of these systems. It's how corporations use it. It's how they get away with tax breaks because they pay themselves with a fund from another fund to another fund and it all washes from the government's eyes. So I would like, considering that this was on the agenda and you guys created these, I mean, you are missing some data and information that are kind of relevant to this, and the fact that we're not able to provide, the additional revenue streams, it's kind of a slightly biased chart because you're showing the expenses increasing, but you're showing the revenue staying flat, which is not realistic and does not flow through, sir. So it just, I would like, this data is a little bit misleading.
Well, then I would suggest maybe you should table this item to a future agenda and give us a call, and you can request what you're actually asking for and what you would like to see highlighted.
Oh, no, sir, I'm comfortable moving forward tonight. We're good with that.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, good then. Is there any,
Yeah, I had a question. So if this is something that, reading the reports is a little ambitious, would it be something that the council might do the 30% fire this year and then do the other raise next year, or be willing, or I would be willing to reduce maybe 25 to 10, or just like I said, or do 30 only for fire and then do maybe readdress and do the 14% next year. I'm open to some compromise in this.
If you may, sir, I would be open to that, because when I put the 14%, I was under the assumption that was going to include the 6% as well. So if you're already given the 6%, that 14 can drop down to 8% automatically. So we can go ahead and change that to 8%. If he said he's already given the 6% to the team, I wanted a 14% total increase because that's what got us competitive with other cities based on what
But the 30 doesn't have the 6 already included?
the 36 was speaking with former Chief
Okay.
Mays and kind of like,
30 has it removed, but the 14 does not.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
My
I didn't
concern-
take it out of that one. I wasn't thinking about that.
My concern when we started this whole process was that our firefighters, we were told, are making about $20,000 a year less than what is the average in DFW for towns our size. So if we are going to compromise or cut, I would like to focus on the firefighters to bring them up to, whatever is appropriate for the median, which is about $20,000 less than what they're getting paid right now. If we just focused on them, I know some others, for example, I know the public works guys, I think we were told they're pretty competitive pay-wise across DFW. I know we haven't gotten the salary survey. I wish we had gotten that when it was budget time, not waiting until January to get that. Because that's, crucial information to be putting a budget together with. So we're kind of operating in the dark a little bit, but my personal opinion is that we would concentrate on firefighters first to bring them up to kind of what the market says for them. And then if we can afford more, great, but it kind of looks like maybe we can't at this point. Maybe we could, focus a little more on some business development in town that would bring in some more revenue dollars that we have not seen an increase in 5 years. Because that's really where we would be able to afford to pay more and more and more to our employees and take care of things like that. But I think, at least to some extent, taking care of our firefighters would be my first priority.
I'm going to just respectfully disagree that we're working in the blind, because we have the Haslet Fire Department salary survey, and they surveyed 40 cities, and you're correct, the median, we're about 16, 17,000 below, but over 40 cities were done, and 35 are above us, and only 4 are below us. So I agree that the fire department maybe should be the priority this year, looking at the numbers in front of us. And thank you, Marcy's not online, Marcy and staff for putting this together. But I do think we have good information to make a good decision. We have this, and it's very well
Sorry, thank you.
presented.
I think it's a fair compromise.
Thank you.
I mean, if you think about it, the fire department they risk their life for the citizens. And we would know it really quickly if we were short on fire and we needed it, and they weren't able to come assist the citizens. So I think you're right. If we're going to have to take care of anybody, because we need it eventually, but the fire department is for what they risk and what they do for our community and our citizens, not taking care of them, I wouldn't feel right about that.
I do want you to consider the fact that any reoccurring expense in our budget is supported by a reoccurring revenue, and that is the property tax rate. And in fact, the local government code states as much in the section for developing budgets. The property tax increases laying at 30% on here. I don't have that exact number. What that would entail would require a property tax greater than what is allowed, unless we go to an election on the property tax increase, just to net this thing out. So please be aware of that. Otherwise, it's being absorbed. Anything that you provide is being absorbed by the revenue or the reserve. And in this scenario, the 30 and 14, you'll see that you'll go to 0 in the first quarter of 2029. And your reserve goes negative thereafter.
And that was with both. That was the 30 and the 14%.
That's using 30 and 14.
What I see this information, and this is a lot like the last meeting we had when we were looking at, the insurance information. And once again, Marcy has done an excellent job of, documenting, where we'll be, not only today, but, projecting out. She does a really good job with this. What I'm a little frustrated with is we had departmental surveys done prior to the budget meeting, which we know now are, withheld from the budget meeting. And the explanation at the time was that they were not professionals in doing that survey. I think that's what was stated to us. So that first raises the question, okay, if they're not professionals at doing it, then why were they tasked to do that to begin with? So it kind of looks like we asked them.
The government code states that the budget officer can have any department supply any information for his development or her development of that budget. And that is what that was. These were not formal surveys by a professional entity. Now, what we have proposed and put forth to the council is a professional survey. And
did the budget officer ask the department heads to do surveys, salary surveys for their department prior to the budget workshop?
Yes, the budget officer did for the budget officer's input.
Okay, thank you. And those surveys were completed prior to the budget workshop, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Why were those not presented to council during the budget workshop?
Because they were not professionally performed.
Okay, then why were staff directed to do them when you knew they weren't professionally done?
Because I needed
So
some
you
input.
wasted the staff's time
I
when
did
they
not
could have been
waste the
doing.
staff time, Mr.
Well,
Hort.
Can you please let him finish?
Well, no, okay, this is my opinion. I'm entitled to an opinion, I believe. I don't think that's out of line. So you ask them to do a survey, you withheld the information. Marcy could have taken that information and put this type of information together. Because this is what council needs to see to make informed decisions. You know, when we look at increases such as insurance or salary increases, we need to see what the projections are out in the future. That's how we make informed decisions. But when information is withheld from us, we can't make those informed decisions. So we put numbers up that we want to see increases. Okay? We said that at the time of the budget workshop, but we didn't have the information like this that would show us what that does to our future budgets. So this all goes back to, we keep saying, we need information, and we don't get it from the budget officer in time to make timely decisions. So now here we're in December, and as some pointed out, hey, it's a special meeting right before Christmas. Now we have pertinent information that shows us the impact when we do, if we ask for these increases in salary. And I do know, speaking with our former fire chief, our salaries in the city of Haslet for our fire department are well under the median around the area. And to, I guess, acknowledge what others have mentioned, we definitely need to do something with the fire department. I don't want to exclude all public works people and everybody else, because they're all important too. But we've got, it looks like we can't afford everything we're asking for right now. We don't have a good path forward to, one, protect our general fund. So yes, I think it was council member Morrow. We may need to split this up into some multiple years. But I think on the front end, we need to do something for at least the fire department to start getting them back on track. And this could very well be a multi-year task. But this is the sort of information we need prior to a budget workshop. Because that's what a budget workshop is all about. So here again, just like with the insurance we're going to do next year, where all that will be reviewed prior to the budget workshop, we need this full salary information prior to that so we can make good budget decisions for next year.
Mayor Hulsey,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion.
make a motion, please.
I would like to amend the item before us, and I would like to make a motion to approve a one-time raise in salary effective immediately for the entire fire department on every position and rank of 30% above the current rates only, nothing further.
Of 30%, that's inclusive, that's on top of the 6% already given.
Yes, sir, correct.
All right, and you say a
gets them to
one-time
75,000.
raise. As our understanding, all raises are one-time. What do you mean by a one-time raise?
Versus the 30% split out over 3 10% raises or such. The entire 30% one-time raise in effect is what I mean by that.
Understood. Okay. Motion is made to provide the fire department an additional 30% raise above all current salaries and wages. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question.
Please.
So if we do that 30%, does that mean the 300,000 that's here for fire is the correct number? And is that inclusive of the 30 and the 6?
go to the reference what page you're at.
I'm looking at what's on the screen.
Yes.
So that $300,613 is inclusive of the 30 and the 6%.
This 300,000 is in addition to the 6.
In addition to the 6.
Yes, this is applying 300,000 to that.
And the 6% was how much of a raise? What was the dollar amount for that?
I don't have that dollar amount in front of me.
But that was already budgeted at the workshop, correct?
Okay. So we're adding, the motion on the table right now is to add 300,000 just to the fire. And it'd be a 30% market adjustment. I hate using the word raise because it's really a market adjustment. It's not a raise. Because, you know, when I worked in the hospital for years, there were times all of a sudden we get this big jump in our salary because they realized the market was different than it was when we were hired 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Let me bring something to your attention, Mr. Others.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, 300,000 is the salary and or wage increase. And you will see there are other charges. When you go up on salary and or wage, there are increases in Medicare and things of that nature. And so look out to the far right hand, not under the total current city cost, but you'll see under total in that table, it says $459,489. That would be what that's the result of the 30% raise, inclusive of what's going in their paycheck, but all other costs the city pays.
Yeah, because when you raise salary, your cost is actually 1.5 roughly, including all the taxes and insurance and everything else from an HR perspective.
That would be the 459,
Right.
489.
Mayor Hulsey, for a point of clarity, sir, though, in addition to that, these numbers over here that you had, there's already a set amount that's going to come out for that already. The 459,000 isn't the full increase because we're already paying
You're
the
trading a
LTC coverage.
portion of
We're
that.
already paying retirement contributions on the $1 million.
Yes.
We're already paying dental and medical on the $1 million. We're already paying. So these increases will only be on the 300,000. So we're not going to have a 300,000 raise and then a $159,000 additional for benefits and dental and all the other stuff. There will be an increase, but that 459,000 isn't because of the 300.
That's on
There's
the
already some
total
that was already correct. There's
of
already some in
1.3
there.
million.
Correct. Yes. There's
Right.
already part of that is already part of the $1 million budgeted.
Right. It's not an additional 459,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So the motion is made and seconded to provide 30% increase in addition to the 6 for the fire department. Yes.
Ms. Katrina's holding her hand up.
Before you finish your motion, we had one email in opposition to this item. Would you like it read now, or?
You've done the others, yes, please, because I had before the vote.
Patricia Parker, 219 Broadmoor Drive. I am writing to formally ask that you reconsider the approval of immediate one-time salary increases, specifically the 30% increase for the fire department and the 14% increase for administrative, public works, and library staff. I am concerned about the timing of these raises relative to the planned $25,000 salary survey. Implementing significant increases immediately after tonight's meeting would seem to render the costly survey unnecessary. Furthermore, salary data for comparable cities is public knowledge. It seems more feasibly responsible for our internal HR department to gather this data at no additional cost to taxpayers. Given the potential strain on our city's long-term finances, I urge the council to consider a more gradual data-driven approach to adjustments after the survey is completed.
So, Mr.
Thank you. Is there any other comments?
Who wrote that? I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
And their address for the record? You turn on your mic and state that.
It's 219 Broadmoor Drive.
So James, I applaud your wanting to bring money to the fire department, and I absolutely do as well, but for me, it's just a little more than I think we should do right this moment. I love the fire department. I want to support them completely, but I'll probably have to vote against this just because I was hoping to stay around 200,000 on the salary increase. I still wanted to give them something, but maybe not quite to that extent. So I want everyone to know I'm going to vote against it, but that's not because I don't love the fire department. It's just, it's a little more than what I would personally like to see at 200.
Very good. So a motion has been made and seconded. So I call for the vote. All in favor? It is Mr. Hort. Okay, there's 3, 4. All opposed?
Aye.
2 opposed. Motion passes.
So, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
just not an official point of order or anything like that, but so when we came out of the budget meeting, we'd left a place marker for 1.5 million.
Yes.
So we've now spent 300,000 on this and 150,000 on the insurance.
Yes.
So we're done with the conversation about 1.5, correct?
You haven't spent 1.5 yet, but it is budgeted.
So can we, in the future, like the next council meeting, have a motion to take out that budget item because now we have satisfied what that was holding place for?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is there, okay, there is no need for an executive session. Future agenda items, email them, call me too, please. I want to work with you. Give me an opportunity. But a conversation goes a long way. You might try it as an experiment just one time. Item 7, I adjourn this meeting at 8:27 p.m.
This conference is no longer being recorded.